Bong Joon-ho, Bong Joon-ho, Bong Joon-ho. Yeah! Nice, dude. I am so proud of you in Parasite and everything that's come from it. It's just amazing to be here at an Oscar after party where I really am, at the Oscars, in Los Angeles, at the Oscars. Gosh, in my black tux, that's not a sponsor. Oh man, this is an actual real tux. I can't believe I'm wearing it here at the Oscars after party. Man, and I won my Oscar ballot too, which is awesome. So that's good. Wait, they have one more award.
And the winner for Best News Time Host is Chad White.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I can't believe I won the last Oscar of 2020. Oh, well, you know, I guess I do have to give an acceptance speech. I didn't come prepared, but...
It's news time. Delivering to you the news you didn't know about, the news you didn't care about, and the news you didn't know you cared about. With host, Chad White. Now, here's that host, Chad White.
Welcome back to News Time. I'm your host, Chad White, and this is the award show news that you didn't know about. And I am in a real tuxedo. I may be in a tux, but I'm still a dirty little boy. And what's dirtier than talking about the biggest, the baddest, the most important award show of the year? Actually, I can think of one thing. See, there's this video I found last week. It involves 2 adult women, a goat, pieces of 5 gum, a brick wall. You know what? I'll just show you. Wait, what's that, Ron? After the show? Oh, but fine. Last night was the Academy Awards, Hollywood's night to show the world that those A-list casted movies that came out between September and January are, in fact, the best of the year. Sprinkle in some Disney and blockbuster magic, a little bit of forgettable indie, and movies that make white people say, this is so important to the culture. But ultimately, they pass it off in favor of the better-known movie starring 2 pale loaves of bread, and you got the Oscars. Really, though, the Academy Awards is by far the best, most prestigious award show. The Golden Globes and the Emmys are great, but the Oscars are on a different plane. Last night's show was filled with surprises. For one, it was raining, not a common weather occurrence for sunny Los Angeles. Water falling from the sky didn't stop our favorite famies. They marched down the red carpet in droves, chatting with resident ABC robot Ryan Seacrest about the glamorous lives they all live. Elon Musk warned us about sentient AI bots like Seacrest. He's already infiltrated human society. We have to keep tabs on him. With that being said, the Oscars tend to be very, very, very white and male, but mostly white because, hey, at least white women are getting looked at. Before the nominations were announced, audiences and critics hoped there would be diversity galore, but not the kind of diversity that allowed a movie like Green Book to win Best Picture last year. You know what I'm talking about, the diversity where a friend is having a birthday dinner and you're one of her 3 black friends. This is true. 2 of you she met the year prior, and the other, her only black friend from high school, she tries to hook you up with because black people should only date other black people, not either of those kinds of diversity. The nominations for this year, that's a very true story, nominations for this year aren't as white as they have been. Entertainment people like Cynthia Erivo and Sam Mendes saved the show from being destined as #SoWhite once again, which also, come on, people. The hashtag never did anything good. Just stop supporting mostly white projects. Go to the things made by people of color and women. We're all a part of the problem. Lupita Nyong'o, J-Lo, and Awkwafina were looked over for Scarlett Johansson, Margot Robbie, and Scarlett Johansson? The Academy hates darkies so much they nominated the worst Avenger twice? By this point, you're probably realizing this script was written before the Oscars, well, at least parts of it anyway. Last night we found out Parasite took home 4 out of the 6 of its nominations, including Best Picture. And brown people were all over the show. It still needed a host, though, so there's that. One of my favorite university studies via USC Annenberg's Inclusion Initiative is back with another set of data regarding women and people of color's representation in film. This time it's joined by the UCLA College of Social Sciences for behind-the-scenes work. There's a few caveats, but there's good news all around. Let's start with the Ladder School study that is authored by Dr. Darnell Hunt and Dr. Anna Cristina Ramon as they looked at 200 of the top films of the past year or so. Off-screen numbers stagnated for POC directors between 2011 and 2019. Their numbers 12.2 and 14.4% respectively. And while it's true the numbers did see a toppage in 2013 and 2018 at 17.8 and 19.3%, they would ultimately fall. Women director numbers jumped from 4.1 in 2011 to 15.1% in 2019, but women of color don't even share a percentage. As Hunt and Ramon put it, quote, women approached proportionate representation among the Asian directors for top Hollywood films in 2019, claiming 2 of the 5 positions for the racial group. That's how underrepresented they are. Women tend to get the short end of the Hollywood stick than their male counterparts. Of course, you already know that. They make up just 17.4% of screenwriters and 15.1% of directors, the latter of which a category where they were shut out of the Oscars this year. To make matters worse, women studio heads like Sherry Lansing, Nicole Clemens, and Megan Colligan are 18% of the total film executive pie. For context, here's a chart of film execs. As you can see, they're mostly white, mostly male. Basically anyone voting for Pete Buttigieg. I promise that reference will not age for sure. However, women and POCs are making their way onto the other side of the camera, above the line, if you will. Stacey L. Smith and her ragtag team of USC researchers examined 1,300 popular films between 2007 and 2019 as to find increases or decreases in gender and race-based casting leads and the like. POCs led 17% of the movies of the last 12 years. Women jumped from 10% in 2018, about 43 films, with 16 of them being underrepresented groups. Improvements may be slow going, but at least they're coming. The numbers for both studies are overwhelming, but well worth taking a look at. Variety's Adam B. Very and Kate Arthur provided easy enough to understand access to breakdowns, so definitely check those out as well. You may be saying aloud to your phones as you sit on the toilet, but Chad, my dear, if women and women of color are lacking behind the scenes, how do I get to know the other women? I know Greta Gerwig. She didn't get nominated for directing. So look, Greta is a good director. Directress? A great director even. However, her lack of a nomination comes off of the umpteenth project she's done that stars only white people. You can only defend someone so much. Here is a list of other women directors, many of them of color, and get to know them. They're going to be in charge of Hollywood someday. This year's Oscars are bigger than usual on many fronts. For one, this is the second year without a host, which, hello, I'm right here, Academy. I got a tux and everything. Let a brother host the show again. Then there's a lack of diversity. Of course, we also have the introduction for serious contenders from streaming platforms. With that in mind, completely white films like Little Women and The Irishman were nominated, causing people like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to clamber down from the clouds and write an op-ed on a computer that I'm almost positive is too small for his giant hands. It's a funny joke, I forgot about that. Just like the awards themselves, though, the Academy is aiming for diverse parity still matters. You'll remember a couple of years ago when the Academy made it a point to add 400 people, mostly women and people of color, to their ranks in order to show the world they can be cool. And keep in mind, it doesn't start and end with the Oscars. Before an award season movie makes it to the stage, it's the festivals that make or break them. Movies positioned well at the Toronto International Film Festival, Sundance, or elsewhere get as much press as they can. Then the studios pick and choose how to promote them. Promotions don't always work. The same can be said of media coverage. This is where movies used to die, but thanks to streaming, they can live a second life there and even get limited theatrical distribution too. What happens to a show in a world full of people hyper-aware that awards favor the fair-skinned? They call themselves out, of course. That's what the BAFTAs did, at least. Even England's own Arrivo sat out the show, citing the whiteness being the issue. Joaquin Phoenix has been making waves as he answered every award he's won in the past few months for his role as a storied Batman villain with a social justice speech. Check it out.
But I have to say that I also feel conflicted because so many of my fellow actors that are deserving don't have that same privilege. I think that we send a very clear message to people of color that you're not welcome here. I think that's the message that we're sending to people that have contributed so much to our medium and our industry and in ways that we benefit from.
Yeah, his peers applaud at it, but will they act on it? He even made it a point to say some things about diversity as he won for Best Actor just last night.
For me, I see commonality. I think whether we're talking about gender inequality or racism or queer rights or indigenous rights or animal rights, we're talking about the fight against injustice. We're talking about the fight against the belief that one nation, one people, one race, one gender, or one species has the right to dominate, control, and use and exploit another with impunity.
See, Joaquin is so genuine. That guy sitting next to Janelle Monáe gets it. Remember the inclusion rider and what that's done in the past 2 years? Jack. Don't think I didn't forget about period movies, but Chad, you say, still on your toilet, frantically searching for something to wipe your bum with since you forgot to restock toilet paper. Those movies take place in the past where colorful didn't exist. Nope, they sure did. As good as movies like 1917 and 4v Ferrari are, they fall into the trap of white males are everywhere and everyone is not. New York Times contributor Aisha Harris wrote a wonderful piece about why the argument regarding familiar casting is unnecessary anymore. She asks a simple set of questions towards the end. Why do the same stories about the same types of people keep getting made? Why is it so rare for genres, the biopic, the western, the gangster movie, to veer from the same subjects? And she's right. Why are we fed the same thing over and over again when there are other stories to explore? Why did we get 2 movies in 2017 that followed the British side of World War I? Why did both of those movies star all white dudes? Although I never saw the Winston Churchill movie, so I could have had some color in it, but I highly doubt it, okay? Diversity may not seem like a big deal to you. You may like all the movies and not give a hoot if you're represented or not, but it does matter. Young actors who don't see themselves on screen may be discouraged and look to other forms of work, leaving their passion behind. A writer could stop writing after not seeing a name like theirs in the credits. This all matters, and it's high time the Academy, Hollywood, festivals, studios, actors, and everyone else involved took the right steps to ensure everyone is seen equally. And that is definitely the later parts of my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thank you speech. Of course, I still have my Oscar over here. For the moment, why don't you subscribe or check out one of our other videos? Of course, you can always head down to the website, cpluscomedy.com. Is that the, oh my gosh, you're playing the Play It Off music? You can follow us on Twitter at cpluscomedy and Instagram at cpluscomedy. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram at JackBlackWhite, and Instagram at Twitter at cpluscomedy and Instagram. I got so much more to say. Don't you dare play me off. Don't you